My name's Scott Yanta, and this is Yanta Hay Farms, and we've been growing hay here for the last 12 years, and we've owned this farm since the 60s. And as we started putting in more and more coastal, we noticed that our yields were going down, and we were having a compaction problem. And so we got with our agronomist, and he suggested that we use Medina product with molasses and humic acid in order to loosen up our soil. And we used a gallon of Medina and a gallon of molasses and a quart of humic acid per acre, and we have seen tremendous results in getting our soil loosened up, and our yields have come up. We've had problem areas in our fields that wouldn't produce much grass, and those problem areas have gone away. And where before we were making 60 square bales per acre, we're back up to 90 to 100 square bales per acre, and using the same fertilizer and the same practice farming techniques. And it's just our soil is so much looser, and the customers have noticed that how the hay is so much more tender, even though that the coastal will get old. When it gets over mature, say when it gets in the 40-day range, grass will get real stemmy. But we've noticed that since we've been using the Medina and molasses, that the coastal has stayed more tender. The leaves, there's no more hollow stem. We used to get a hollow stem in the grass, and the grass would get real coarse, and it's staying more palatable, and it seems like the horses eat it better. So we've seen that the quality has gone up in the grass. At that current rate of a gallon of Medina and a gallon of molasses and a quart of humic acid, that's running around $12 an acre. That's taking 2 square bales per acre to pay for that. And when we've seen a 40% increase in yield, that's more than, say, 40 square bales per acre. 38 more bales is profit. So we've seen a substantial, it's very economical to use, and it's profitable. Okay, well, a few more things that we noticed when we started using the Medina was the amount of life that we had come back to the soil. Before there was, we sent a test off to analysis of how much life was in the soil, and it came back zero. There was no beneficial microbes or anything in the soil. It just was it was dead. And as we started using the Medina, we started noticing earthworms, and then now, a year later, since we've been using the product on a continuous basis, we've seen so much more life in our soil. It's just full of earthworms, and the ground is so much softer. And by using the Medina product, we went ahead and we sold our airway aerator, because we do not want to disturb this soil bed anymore. And because as we would aerate before, we would bring rocks up, and then the spikes of the airway were germinating seed, and we're having more weed pressure. And by now, with the soil being looser and the grass is in so much better condition, it's very dense. We have a very dense stand of coastal. The weed pressure is gone. I mean, we don't have to use any herbicides or anything, being that we have such a dense stand of coastal, being the soil is so loose. So those are a few more things we have done that have helped out.